guys, I got my heater blowing, y'all, because I got some some heat going, and it's cold in here. It's like 65 degrees here, so. All right, y'all. So I got a few minutes. Hi, Shayla. I got a few minutes to kind of talk with y'all this morning, and I want to talk about a few things. Hi, guys. Hi. I want to talk about a few things about like our traumas from childhood and things like how we work with it. Good morning. I told Chick-fil-A heavy on it. Hey, guys. Hi, guys. So, anywho, we today are going to talk about trauma from childhood. I did wanted to get into it because I get into this and kind of get to the point, and I'll post it for my people able to join. Grand Rising, guys. Grand Rising. Um. So anyway, traumas from childhood. Y'all know I'm gonna kind of break down how to do, how you recognize it and how you grow from it. Candy, I wasn't buffering, babe. My phone was saying it was like on 20% and it paused me. But anyway, so hey, hey, my phone paused me out because my phone was saying it was going dead. Is it? Tell me how it is now, y'all. Let me know. Let me know. Hey, Letitia, with Spiritual Works, I don't call for that. You have to email me what it is that you want done. Spiritual work is like spell work. I don't call for spiritual work, baby. I'm good now. All right, cool. So, anyway, um, trauma from childhood, y'all. Um, for one, how can you recognize you have trauma from childhood? So I'm gonna tell y'all my story, and then I'm gonna tell y'all how. Okay, cool beans, and make sure, Letitia, you put all the information, what you want done. Be very specific on how you want me to do it, and I'll email you back as soon as I get done on live. Okay? Thank you, baby. So anywho, um, so I'm gonna do my story about how I realized I had trauma from my childhood. Grand Rising, and I did not recognize it until I want to say earlier this year. I just want to be honest. I didn't realize it till this year. Beginning of this year, I started to realize what my trauma from my childhood was, and I'm going to go through things and tell y'all how I dealt with it and what I did and how I didn't recognize my toxic traits. So, Grand Rising, guys. So, anyway, my mother was not a mom, okay? I have a little sister and I have a little brother. And my mother gave up my brother and my sister, but she kept me. However, even with her keeping me, it was because of my father. She really loved my dad. You know what I'm saying? So she gave my brother and my sister up, but she kept me because of course my father was in my life. He was around. And my sister and brother's dad, they weren't, or they were abusive. No, Candy, I'm not the only one. I have a little sister and I have a little brother. So anyway, my mom kept me because of course my daddy wasn't going for that. My daddy is a very don't play it type of person, and so my mom was not the mom until I was about maybe 6 or 7. I love going over my grandma's house because, you know, I never used to get it when I would go back and watch like childhood footages that my grandma would, you know, she recorded me when I was a little girl. Her and my step grandfather, they recorded me. So I would see videos. Is it? It gotta be the Y. It gotta be the Wi-Fi, y'all. Is it good now? Okay. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me stop this buffering. My LTE gonna kick in. Alright, y'all got it? Can y'all see me? Once my LTE kick in, it should be good. I don't know. I think it's just YouTube. But anyway, so let's get back to the story. So, my mom, I was with my mom up until I was 6, but I always loved to spend the night with my grandma, you know, because kids like to, you know, resonate with spirits that they feel love from. And so I always knew that my grandmother loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew that my grandmother loved me. That's a love that can't be touched. So my mom was so wrapped up in a man, in men, that she forgot about her children. She gave my sister up at birth because my sister was sick. And my sister had a lot of illnesses when she was first born. She's perfectly fine now. Like, my sister's the bomb. You know what I'm saying? But then she you know, has issues with my mom that she deals with on a personal level. We don't talk about it, but I know that it bothers my sister. My brother is completely insane. He does everything under the sun you can name it. My brother is crazy. So those are the traumas for our childhood because my mother wasn't a good mom. So she gave both of them up. She gave my sister up because my sister was sick. I don't know why she gave my brother up. I have no clue. My mom had me when she was 17. She had my sister when she was 18. And she had my brother when she was in her early 20s, right? So I don't know why she gave them up, but she kept me, of course, because like I said, my dad was around, and my daddy didn't play that. So the relationship between her and my dad, she would make it so toxic that my father could not stay around. You see what I'm saying? She would make it so toxic that my father could not stay around. And my daddy reached his final straw when I was about 8 years old. He reached his final straw and he moved away because my mom was calling the police on him, showing up to his job with me acting crazy and all kind of stuff, you know. And my dad, even to this day, does not talk bad about my mom. He still talks about her in a good light, but he will, you know, say like she did a lot to him over the years that made him just leave. So my father left, and he let her be. You see what I'm saying? Because she was just doing too much. So my mom decided that she was just over this city that we lived in here in South Carolina, and she was gonna leave, and she wanted to follow her own life without me. So my mom decided to move to Florida. She didn't tell anybody that she was moving to Florida. She just moved to Florida. And my grandmother always frequents, she always came and visited and stuff. And so when my grandmother came to visit and my mom was gone, y'all, and I know this will be like a little emotional, but I love to tell my story and get my, you know, my story out there to let y'all know how far I've came. My mom actually left, moved to Florida without me. I was there in the apartment, but I was so self-sufficient that I knew how to do things for myself. So nobody ever really knew that my mom was gone. So with my mother leaving, my grandmother used to make her weekly visits. And so it was time for my grandmother's weekly visit. I had only been home by myself for about maybe 2 days. And she decided that, you know, she was just gone. So she left. My grandma came. She knocked on the door. I knew it was my grandmother because I looked out the window. I opened the door and I told my grandma, you know, my mama had been gone. So my grandma like, what do you mean she been gone? I'm like, she gone, ma. I don't know where she at. So my grandma got my stuff because one of my mom's friends told my grandmother that my mom had been leaving me home by myself. My mom actually had been leaving me home by myself since I was 2 or 3. Like, I would be home by myself. And so my mom's friend told my grandma that, and my grandmother was like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to get my grandchild. And so I started living with my grandmother and my step grandfather. And my grandma raised me from on up. So I know you guys may have recalled the video when I was telling y'all about seeing Mickey and Aaliyah. And I told y'all that we tried to let me stay with my mom. So we went. I really love my mom. Like, I really, really loved my mother. Like, no matter what happened, I didn't see the wrong in what she did until I got older. You know, and I'm going to explain the different steps of our relationship. So when I got a little older, I realized the things that she was doing was wrong. But anywho, the summer that I tried to go stay with my mom, y'all, I went to Florida, and you know, I told y'all I was smoking cigarettes with my white friend Allison. I was you know, at home by myself then. And my grandmother's final straw was my mom and her boyfriend had got into a fight, and he poured beer on me. And I was 8 or 9 maybe. I called my grandma and I'm like, Mom, he poured beer on me. You know, that wasn't right, Grandma. My grandma literally was in Florida. They drove from South Carolina. My grandmother was literally in Florida a day and a half later, getting my stuff ready for me to go. You see what I'm saying? Like, my grandma did not play there. You could not touch me. You could not bother me. My grandma even told my step grandfather at one point in time that if it came down to him or me, she was packing up the whole house and me and her was going. You know, that's the type of grandmother I have. So, my grandma came and got me. I came back and lived with my grandmother. Me and my mom had a cool relationship. She was kind of like my best friend, but she lied to me a lot, y'all. Like, she lied to me so much. Like, she would be like, I remember this is one memory I will never forget. Y'all remember when the portable, the DVD players came out, the little portable ones that when you could put the DVD in there and watch it and walk around with it. So y'all, I was excited to get one. And let me get my charger. I was excited to get one, right? My mama promised me that she was going to bring this portable DVD player. So I'm telling everybody at school, like, you know, my mama gonna bring me this portable DVD player. And I'm so excited to see my mama. Yeah, my mama live in Florida, you know, and it's like, man, you be so proud of the little things that your parents do. You miss the bigger things, like what they didn't do. So I was so proud. My mama came, y'all. She didn't bring the portable DVD player. She told me she forgot it, right? So I used to like to play in my mama clothes. You know, I was kind of sad, but it was cool because my grandma, thinking ahead, being the best grandmother in the world, she had already bought me what I wanted because she didn't trust my mama. So my mama, she came and she said, oh, she forgot about it and she'll bring it next time when she come back. So I'm like, okay, cool. My grandma bought me one. That's cool. So I was going through my mama's suitcase because you know, a girl, you like to dress up in your mama stuff. And my mama used to have all the fly shit. Like, oh my God, my mama used to have all the fly shit. And I was going through her suitcase, and I remember finding a red slip from the pawn shop where my mom had pawned my DVD player. And come to find out, y'all remember I told y'all about my godmom, Jewel. Jewel was the one who bought me the DVD player. And my mom pawned it and got money for it and lied to me and told me that she forgot to bring it. So that was something that she did that really walked with me, which made me start not liking liars, but it also turned me into one. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like, shoot, my mama lying and getting away with it. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I'ma lie and get away with it too. But my grandma beat that out of me. Quick, fast, in a hurry. But anyway, so after that, my mom left, and I got pregnant with my first daughter at the age of 16. My daughter, I had my daughter by an abusive man, y'all. Now, mind you, this is how our childhood trauma follows us. My mom was always dating an abusive man. Everybody except my dad. At this point, y'all, my father is gone because my mama has did so much, and he don't want to get in no trouble. He loved me. He loved his child, but at the end of the day, it's only so much a man can do. And my daddy don't believe in court systems and the law. He don't believe in doing none of that. Like, that's why I don't believe in it. That's why my children's father has never been on child support, because my father does not believe in that. And so at this point, my dad is gone. I had my first baby. I was 16. My daughter's dad was like 20. And we had the baby, but he was abusive. Now, mind you, my mother dated abusive men. This was my first encounter with an abusive man. I had never been with a man that hit me, but my daughter's father did. And so being 16 and being beat on all the time for nothing, was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? What the hell is wrong with him? And so, y'all, he would do shit like, I remember I was pregnant with Chastity, and like, he locked me out the house with nothing but a towel on, y'all, because he got pissed off at something that I did, right? And so I just was scared to leave him alone, because you 16, you got a baby, and you scared to leave this person alone. You feel like they helping you, and you don't want to put that burden. I was already sad because I knew I disappointed my grandmother. And I was already down because I felt like, my grandma didn't deserve to have to raise me and then my child too. So ultimately, I got done with that relationship. It was very tumultuous, and that's why I do not mention him. I don't really talk about him like that, because it was just a really bad time in my childhood. Because what people fail to realize is, even when you're 16, you're still a child. You still don't have the maturity in your mind to process things. So mind you, I'm carrying on my mother's traits to like abusive men, and I'm carrying on her trait of not practicing being a good mother, because I chose to stay in a relationship with my daughter's father despite what he did. I'm talking about, y'all, I was fresh out of the hospital, 2 days, C-section, and we literally were going blow for blow in a closet. And I'm fresh from having a C-section, got staples in my stomach and all. So I made a choice ultimately to choose my daughter's father over my daughter. People don't think that that's the case, but it is. When you stay in an abusive relationship, you ultimately choose that man over your kids and their health. So ultimately, the end of the relationship came. I ended up losing my cool, and that's why I'm very big on domestic violence, because I want people to know it is possible for you to lose your cool. I ended up losing my cool and snapping out and doing some things to him that I won't say on camera, but I did some things to him, and I knew then that it was time for me to go, or I would be in jail for a life sentence, because abuse weighs on you. It weighs on you. And by this time, y'all, I'm 17, and I had to go to work with a black eye, y'all. That was the final straw for me. And so when I came home, back to his house, realizing that I got this black eye and I had to go to work with it, I snapped out. Because why are you doing this to me? It would be for shit like washing clothes. Y'all, I'm 16. My grandmother took care of me. She sheltered me. I don't know how to wash clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do with that. But he wanted a woman in a 16-year-old's body, and I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't even prepared to have a baby. I was scared for my life, because I wasn't ready for that. And that was my first time sleeping with somebody, so I got pregnant then. It was one of those stories. So anyway, After that, I finally left him, but I was still carrying my mother's baggage. So then I got with my two youngest kids' dad, and one thing I can say about him is he was very good to me. He was very good to my daughter, and when I ultimately had children, he was very good to us. But me and him had a tumultuous relationship, because then, along with me carrying my, yes baby, I'm a Libra, along with me carrying my mother's traits, I picked up my daughter's dad's traits by being abusive, which brought me on to the relationship with my two youngest kids' dad, and his name is Kanan. So I really say their name. His name is Kanan. He's my two youngest kids' dad. So when I got with Kanan, y'all, I would jump on Kanan, and Kanan was not like that. His mother is very Christian, very together. Mama is the bomb, okay? Me and his mama is like this. They is still considered my mother-in-law. His dad is still considered my father-in-law. I love his family. They're my family. So, and they've ultimately helped me take care of my oldest daughter and the two children that are naturally by blood theirs. You know what I'm saying? So, I got with Kanan. Me and Chastity, you know, moved over to be with Kanan's family, and I would just jump on Kanan when I got mad, or I would feel like I gotta hit you first before you hit me, which turned our relationship tumultuous, because Kanan didn't hit girls at first, but because I was continuously jumping on him, we would fight. So y'all see how my traits are coming through, right? They're coming through. I'm carrying my mother's traits. I'm carrying my daughter's dad. His name is Chad. I'm carrying Chad's traits, and I'm still losing myself in the process, okay? So ultimately, me and me and Kanan, we broke up, and I met my husband. And when I met my husband, he doesn't hit women at all. And the very first fight that we got into, y'all, he pissed me off because we had got into it, and he was like, he was done with me. But if y'all know anything about a Sagittarius, y'all know they got a lot of mouth. My husband he used to have a lot of mouth. He's not like that now because he's older and he know better. But he used to have a lot of mouth. And he was talking shit, y'all, and I remember running around the corner and bah, just dead in his mouth. And it caught him off guard, because he's dealt with women that had issues like that, but not like me, because I wasn't afraid at this point, because you got to think about it, I had went through trauma. Not only did I leave Chad, but he turned around and threatened me, my grandmother, and my child to shoot us. He brought a gun to my grandmother's house. So at this point, I'm fearless. So I'm running around the corner, and my husband steady talking. Bop! Hit him in the mouth. I hit him in the mouth. I came around with the next one because I was ready for it. Because I felt like, if you can talk to me like this, I can beat your ass like this. You know, that was how I handled things. And he used to tell me all the time, you can't handle a relationship like you handle things in the street. You got to change your mentality. And when I tell people that my husband tamed me, he did. He tamed me because I was ridiculous. I would be ready to do anything at any moment. And even now, still in my spiritual journey, y'all, I have days where I would really like to put my hands on you. You know, like on a person. Like, I really would like to, because I feel like that make me feel better. But it's not. It's a toxic trait. And it's something that takes time to get rid of. I don't feel like I was the best mother in the beginning, because I carried my mom's traits. So I wanted to go out all the time. My kids was gone every weekend. Shit, sometimes they was gone during the weekdays if I wanted to do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I never got that. And when my husband would try to address it, bop, in his mouth. You know, he still didn't hit me. He kept his cool. But I'm going to tell you something about people like that. Them are the people that'll kill you. So if you're listening to me, let me tell y'all something. One night, I had a dream that my husband took my life because he lost his cool. And that's something that I know he would never do. But that was spirit. That was the universe letting me know, Sequoia, you are pushing him too far. And I was pushing him too far, y'all. Too far. And I knew that I had to stop. But I still didn't stop. Because that stubbornness, them toxic traits, going with me. So, y'all, I started practicing Voodoo and getting into the culture of it. And it started helping me realize what I needed to change. So I met my father again when I was 21. I lost my dad from the time I was 8 till I was 21. Yes, my father sent money, but he was not there. He was not present. So when I got back up with my dad, I was 21. My daddy started changing things about me because he started changing the way I handled things. And one thing about me and my dad is we picked up like we left off. I didn't have any resentment because what people didn't understand was I was always with my father prior to my mom flipping out on him. So, I love my father. Period. It's no ifs, ands, or buts in it. He is the bomb. I love my daddy, y'all. I'm a true daddy's girl. So, we picked back up where we left off. And my daddy started changing things about my anger. My daddy slowed me down from going out. You see how that missing link, I was out here wilding, and that missing link came back, and it started to slow me down. I started to see ways that I could be a better mother. I started to see ways that I could be a better mom. Mrs. Banks, I'm about to get to that. So after I got back up with my dad and we talked over the years, like I told y'all, in like 2013, 2014, I was doing candle magic or whatever. And so my dad got me into the group and all of that good stuff. And we, I got hooked up with my mumbo and we started working. And she was working on me too. And, me and my dad to this day have a very strong relationship. When I get on the phone with my father, I'm on the phone with my dad for about 3 hours. Each conversation, that is my best friend. I love my dad. My dad is the best person, the best man. You can't tell me nothing bad about my dad, and I will flip out. Okay, my husband almost got a divorce because of something involving my father. So I don't play about my daddy. So the more I learned Voodoo, like I learned different things about how to deal with my anger, different things how to deal with my feelings, and also how to have discipline. So the discipline that you guys see, it was not always there. You know what I'm saying? So I never really recognized the trauma from my childhood, and I never really recognized the bad shit that my mama planted into me until I sat back and realized how much my life has changed to now at this day. So now at this day, y'all, I do not go out. I do not hang out too much. I am here every night to put my children in the bed. I pick my kids up from school. I take them to school. Prior to this, my Kanan's mama would do everything for me. She pick them up, take them to school, drop them off. She made sure they got their baths before they got home because she knew that I had to go through that process. That's how good of a woman my baby daddy mama is. She knew that I had to go through this process because she knew that I was going to come out of it. And she just told me that last night. She said, I'm so proud of you because I knew that you were going to come out of that. That was a progress for me because my childhood affected me so bad. Never get me wrong. My grandmother did everything in her power to make things work for me. But it was only so much my grandma could do because my mama planted so many bad seeds. She's not a good mother. She's not a good grandmother. I don't hate her. I love her, but I don't have anything for her. Um, so once my mom, she got sick about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and she had several strokes back to back. Despite everything that my mama has did over the years, y'all, she ruined my. It connected me back. My bad. I got 5 minutes, y'all. So anyway, she ruined my relationships. She told people things. She called me hoes and bitches. My mama was just off the chain. So despite my mama doing me the way she did me, I flew her out. She was sick. She had several strokes back to back. She was fucked up, and she was in New York. I flew my mom here. I took care of my mom. I bought my mom a whole new wardrobe because the nigga she was staying with wouldn't even send her fucking clothes to her so that she could have clothes. Wouldn't even send her clothes to her. So I bought my mom a whole new wardrobe, took care of my mom, tried to help her with a job, let her live with me. My mom was so unappreciative. She talked shit every day. She talked about how she didn't have no life and this, that, and the third. Now, y'all, this is present day. This is 3 or 4 years ago. Talking about how she ain't got no life. She hate being stuck up in my house. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is wrong with this lady? So then I move her in with my grandmother. She moves in with my grandmother. She disrespects my grandmother, tell my grandma fuck her when she got drunk one time, like cussing my grandma. And anybody that know me know I don't play about my grandma. So that was the ultimate fallout with me and my mom, is because of the disrespect to my grandmother, because this woman raised your child for nothing. For nothing. And she never asked you for nothing back. My grandmother clothed me, fed me, put me through school. Never asked my mama for nothing back. And you could stand there and tell her, fuck her, and she a bitch? You out your fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing with my mama that ultimately got our relationship where it's at. The second thing and final thing that got me and my mom where it was at is when my children were there, she said to the effect of like, fuck my kids, because she ain't that grandma anyway. They got a grandma. Talking about Kanan's mama. And that was that for me. My relationship currently status with my mom right now is non-existent. I will not speak with her. I love her. If I have to do something to her, meaning it's no other choice, I'll do it. But I don't deal with my mom. I don't deal with my mom. So I never recognized the traumas from my past until I started analyzing my relationships the other night. I had this major download the other night, and I was sick as a dog afterwards, but things have came to me to talk to y'all about. And I want y'all to know that we don't recognize the traumas and dramas that come behind our childhoods. But I will tell you this. We have to be careful as women, as mothers, because the seeds that we plant in our children follow them for life. And I was planting the same bad seeds into my kids, because I would fight in front of my kids. I would go out and let my kids go with their grandma and not just be a good mom, but that was because those traits prevented me from being a good mom, no matter how good my grandma loved me. So I tell everybody to tell you this. If you feel like you are okay, you've gotten over things in your past, I'm 100% sure that you haven't. And I have just gotten over the things that she does, and I know now, and I'm mature enough now to know that I have to love her from a distance. I don't think that she's a bad person. I don't think that she has, you know, I don't think that she hates us. I think that she just doesn't know how to be a good person. My mama ran away when she was 14. She did all kind of shit as far as my grandmother, went. So it was like a lot of different things. And, I just feel like a lot of our past and our relationships with people, it follows us. So when you come to me for your love readings and you come to me and tell me, I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why I'm doing this or that and that. I'm telling you now, the traumas from your childhood and your past follows you. And you have to drop it. So when I tell you guys, you have to let the past go. I don't say that to be mean or disrespectful. I say that to tell you guys that I'm coming from a different place because I understand you. We are one and the same. No, I didn't get molested. No, I didn't have anybody do anything inappropriate to me, but I was still traumatized because my mother didn't know how to be a mother. So I want you guys to think about that going forward. I have a journal that I write all of my feelings down in, and so I want you guys from this day forward to start writing your feelings down, being honest with yourself, being transparent with yourself. Because I would lie and say that my mama was a good mom. I would tell everybody, oh, I got the best mama in the world. You put on a facade to pretend. And I never will pretend again. I will always live in my truth. So I tell people, live in your truth. Write down your real feelings. I'm going to show y'all my journal. This is one of my many journals, y'all. I definitely write down all of my feelings, how I feel, and I'm transparent. When it comes to your relationship, be transparent with your partner. Treat your partner like your journal. My mom has a lot of unresolved issues, but she don't acknowledge them. She only pretends like she did the best she could when really she didn't give us a chance. She never gave us a chance. She's traumatized my sister. She's traumatized my brother. My brother don't give a fuck about life. This is somebody that literally hit the police with his car because the police pissed him off. Like, because my mom traumatized him. You know what I'm saying? So I will say this, and then I gotta go because I got a reading. Write your feelings down going forward. Do not continue to let the traumas from your past prevent your future. Now, as of today, I am the best mother that I could ever be. I am so invested in my children. I am so serious about learning new things to prevent them from ever having to feel like they're traumatized. I don't even argue in front of my children anymore, because I want my kids to be emotionally stable. Because if you're not emotionally stable, you will never make it in this world. You'll never make it in this world. I make the world stop for my kids. So, going forward, y'all, the changes that I've made, like I said, is I stopped going out. I started being a better mom, investing more in my kids. I stopped being so caught up in relationships and love. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments where I go through things in my relationship, but I'm not caught up by it where it distracts me from what's going on with my kids. I invest in them because they are my true investment. Money is great, but my children are better. I invest in my children. Invest in your kids. Invest in self. Be a good mom. Be a good person. People always tell me, you too nice. You too this. But that's okay. I invest in everybody that I meet. And the reason why I invest in you is because I want to see good things come from you. I do everything in love. And I have allowed some negative things to pull me back, but I know that that's something that needs to stop. So, this day forward, all of my people that love me and I love y'all, start writing your feelings down, start investing in yourself, start investing in your children, and invest in the people in your everyday life. Because it's going to pay off. I am the happiest I have ever been. Nothing to take away from my grandmother because she was the bomb. My grandma was the best. But there were things that even she could not fix. Alright? So, traumas from our childhood. Okay? These were my bullet points. How it affects you. It will make you project the same behaviors that people projected onto you. Okay? How do you recognize it? Sit down in silence for an hour a day. Think about what you did that day and what things you could have did better and how you could have handled them. Write down the pros and the cons and recognize what your toxic traits are. Recognize what your toxic traits are. How can you grow from it? Recognizing and changing. Recognize it and change it. So, I recognized that I was being a bad mother. I was being a club hopper. I was being a bad woman with my boyfriend and a bad wife too. We've been married almost 4 years. I was a bad wife for the first 2 years because I didn't give a damn. If it wasn't about my feelings, but that's that toxicness that I was carrying with me because that's not fair. So I have to meet him halfway at this point. You know what I'm saying? Grow from it, change your perceptions on life, change your outlook on life, and change who you are. Those are the biggest things to change those toxic traits and those childhood traumas. So, all right. I definitely love y'all. I hope y'all got something from this video. I don't want to just do celebrity readings. I want to give knowledge and give stories and be transparent and really show y'all how to manifest what you want in life, because I literally manifested everything in my life, y'all. Literally, without even knowing it. And I'm so thankful and I'm so appreciative for the people that came into my life, including my father, my mumbo, my clients. I love y'all because y'all are helping me grow. And I also want to say one thing. I know a lot of y'all probably seen the comments between me and the young lady. And I went back and erased everything that I said. But I want to give y'all this clarity. I did not start reading tarot cards until December because I guess with that person misconceiving it, I don't want my people to misconceive it. I've been practicing the craft for about 4 years. I recently started reading tarot in December. Okay, so that's the clarity for everybody. I am not an expert. I am still growing. I will tell you that I'm still growing. I will also refer you to my mumbo if it's something that I can't fix for you. So I always definitely try to keep things open. It doesn't matter, Empress Maria. I've erased all of it anyway, but my comments anyway, hers are still there. But I definitely want y'all to know that about me. I want y'all to want to be transparent with y'all. And so I definitely appreciate y'all that love me and that are rocking with me and that are growing with me and that appreciate me. And I definitely look forward to speaking with y'all again. And I want you guys to have a good morning. Go be positive. No negative thoughts. Negative thoughts bring negative facts, okay? All right, so have a good week. I love you guys so much. Have a good one.